5 ways to make your marriage feel like the honeymoon again. Remember when you couldn't keep your hands off each other, when you'd stay up all night talking, when everything about them fascinated you? That was the honeymoon phase. Now you're years into marriage and that intensity is gone. You're comfortable, stable, but you're not excited anymore. And you're wondering if that spark can ever come back. By the end of this video, you'll know 5 specific ways to make your marriage feel like the honeymoon again, not by pretending you're newlyweds, but by intentionally recreating the elements that made early love feel so alive. Strategy 1. Prioritize novelty and new experiences together. The honeymoon phase feels exciting because everything is new. New person, new experiences, new discoveries. Long-term marriage feels flat when it becomes repetitive routine. To recapture honeymoon feelings, you need to inject novelty into the relationship. Do new things together. Go new places. Try new activities. Break patterns. Look at your routine. Your marriage is falling into predictable patterns. Same restaurants every Friday, same TV shows every night, same weekend routine. Predictability creates comfort, but kills excitement. Intentionally do things you've never done together. Novelty activates reward centers in the brain. It's the same neurochemistry as falling in love. Your brain responds to new experiences with heightened attention and emotional arousal. Exactly what happens during the honeymoon phase. Try activities that challenge you both. Take a class together, cooking, dancing, language, pottery. Do something physically challenging, hiking, rock climbing, kayaking. Travel to places neither has been. A couple tries salsa dancing class. The awkwardness and learning together creates connection and fun. Shared challenges create bonding and teamwork that reignite partnership feelings. Plan surprise dates or adventures. One person plans a surprise date without telling the other where you're going. The element of surprise and anticipation creates excitement. It forces both people out of predictable patterns. Anticipation of positive experience releases dopamine. You get excited before the event even happens. Rotate who plans the weekly date. Each person alternates planning weekly dates. The planner has full control, the other person just shows up. This creates variety since each person plans differently. When you're responsible for creating an experience, you invest more energy and creativity. Why do couples stop seeking novelty? Routine is easier and requires less energy. You assume you know everything about each other. You fear trying new things or looking foolish together. But comfort becomes the enemy of excitement when you choose familiar over new. After 15 years of marriage, Michelle and Robert's life was completely predictable. Same restaurants every Friday, same TV shows every night, same weekend routine. Michelle felt like they were roommates on autopilot. Robert suggested they try something radical. Every month, do something they'd never done before. First month, trapeze class. They were terrified and awkward and laughed until they cried. Second month, weekend camping trip to a place neither had been. Third month, improv comedy class. Each experience was outside their comfort zone, but something shifted. They felt like they were discovering each other again. The novelty made them see each other differently, not as the predictable spouse they'd known for 15 years, but as an adventure partner. Michelle said, "I feel excited about us again." So, make a monthly first-time commitment. Every month, do something neither has done before. Create a bucket list together. Brainstorm new experiences you want to try as a couple. Take turns surprising each other. Alternate planning surprise dates or weekend activities. Say yes to opportunities outside your comfort zone. When invited to new experiences, default to yes. Strategy 2. Recreate early dating behaviors. Get ready, flirt, court. During the honeymoon phase, you made effort, got dressed up for each other, flirted constantly, courted each other with compliments and attention. Long-term marriage often loses this intentional effort. You stop trying to impress each other. To recapture honeymoon feelings, consciously recreate early dating behaviors. Get ready for each other again. During dating, you dressed up, groomed carefully, wanted to look good for them. Now you wear sweatpants and don't bother with appearance around them. Intentionally get ready for dates like you used to date. Putting effort into appearance signals you're worth effort and creates mutual attraction. How you present yourself affects how your partner sees you and how you see yourself. Bring back deliberate flirting. Early dating involved constant flirting, playful banter, sexual tension, compliments about appearance. Long-term marriage often loses flirtation entirely. Reintroduce playful teasing, sexual innuendo, appreciative comments about appearance. Text your spouse something flirty midday like you used to when dating. Flirting creates sexual tension and playfulness that keep romance alive. Date like you're trying to win them over. Early dates involved planning, effort, being your best self. Now, dates, if they happen, are low-effort afterthoughts. Plan dates like you're still trying to impress them. When you court someone, you're communicating they're special and worth effort. Give undivided attention. During the honeymoon, you hung on their every word, asked questions, showed fascination. Now you're on your phone while they talk, half listening, assuming you know what they'll say. Practice giving full attention during conversations. Eye contact, questions, engage listening. Being truly seen and heard is intoxicating. It's what made early dating so compelling. Why do couples stop these behaviors? Comfort means you stop trying to impress each other. You think effort isn't necessary once you're married. The vulnerability of trying feels risky if your partner doesn't reciprocate. But you've confused accepting each other with stop making effort for each other. Stephen realized he'd completely stopped trying. He wore ratty clothes around the house, never complimented his wife anymore, didn't plan dates. His wife had done the same. No effort into appearance, no flirtation, just functional coexistence. After reading about relationship maintenance, Stephen decided to bring back dating behaviors. He started planning weekly dates, real ones, not just dinner. He'd get dressed up like he was trying to impress her. He started sending flirty texts during the day. He complimented her appearance. At first, Rachel was confused, but then she started reciprocating. She'd dress up for dates. She'd flirt back. They started acting like they were dating again, and something amazing happened. They started feeling like they were dating again. Rachel told her friend, "It's like falling in love again, but with the person I already love." So dress for dates like you're trying to impress them. No sweatpants. Actually get ready. Send flirty texts regularly. Recreate the anticipation and sexual tension of early relationship. Compliment appearance and character. Notice and verbalize what you find attractive. Plan thoughtful dates. Put effort into creating experiences, not just going through the motions.
Strategy 3. Prioritize physical intimacy and affection. The honeymoon phase involves constant physical connection. Sex, touching, kissing, holding hands, cuddling. Long-term marriages often see physical intimacy decrease dramatically. To recapture honeymoon feelings, you must prioritize both sexual intimacy and non-sexual affection. Make sex a priority, not optional. The honeymoon phase involves frequent, passionate sex. Long-term marriage often becomes sexless or mechanical. Schedule sex if necessary. Treat it as important as any other commitment. Sexual intimacy releases bonding hormones and creates unique connection. Sexual relationship distinguishes romantic partnership from friendship. Bring back passionate kissing. Early dating involved long, passionate kisses. Long-term marriage often reduces to quick pecks or no kissing. Kiss like you mean it. Long, deep, passionate. A 10-second kiss every morning before leaving creates physical and emotional connection. Passionate kissing creates arousal and intimacy that maintains romance. Touch throughout the day. Honeymoon couples touch constantly, holding hands, sitting close, casual touches. Married couples often maintain physical distance except during sex. Intentionally touch throughout the day. Hold hands, hug, touch arm or back when passing. Non-sexual touch maintains physical intimacy independent of sex. Create dedicated intimacy time. Early relationship involved lots of time focused on physical connection. Marriage gets busy and physical intimacy becomes rushed afterthought. Create time specifically for physical intimacy, not just sex, but touching, massage, closeness. When you're too busy for intimacy, you're too busy for marriage. Why does physical intimacy decrease? Stress, exhaustion, busy schedules push intimacy to bottom of the priority list. Body changes and insecurities create avoidance. Resentment or disconnection makes physical closeness uncomfortable. Physical disconnection both reflects and creates emotional disconnection. After 10 years of marriage and 2 kids, Amy and Derek's sex life had become almost non-existent. Maybe once a month, usually rushed and unsatisfying. They rarely touched except accidentally. A couples therapist told them, if you want the marriage to feel alive, physical connection is non-negotiable. They committed to twice-weekly sex no matter what. They started kissing, really kissing, every morning. They held hands watching TV. They touched each other throughout the day. At first it felt forced, but within a month, something changed. The physical connection created emotional closeness. They started wanting to touch each other, not just doing it out of obligation. Their sex life improved dramatically, became passionate again, not mechanical. Amy said, "I feel attracted to him again. I feel like we're lovers, not just parents." So schedule regular sex. Treat it like an important appointment, not optional activity. Kiss passionately daily. Make it 10 seconds minimum, no quick pecks. Touch throughout the day. Intentional, affectionate touching, not just functional contact. Create intimacy rituals. Massage night, bath together, dedicated cuddling time. If this video is giving you a roadmap to make your marriage exciting again, hit that subscribe button for more practical relationship strategies that actually work. Now let's talk about the next 2 strategies. Strategy 4. Share vulnerability and deep conversations. The honeymoon phase involves deep vulnerability, sharing fears, dreams, past experiences, innermost thoughts. This emotional openness creates intense intimacy. Long-term marriage often loses this vulnerability as partners assume they know everything or avoid difficult conversations. Ask questions like you're still getting to know them. During dating, you asked endless questions, fascinated by their answers. In marriage, you assume you know everything and stop asking. Intentionally ask deep questions. What are you most afraid of right now? What are you dreaming about lately? People evolve constantly. Questions reveal who they're becoming. Curiosity is an act of love that shows you care about their inner world. Share your inner life openly. Early relationship involved sharing thoughts, fears, hopes openly. Long-term marriage often involves hiding vulnerability or emotional flatness. Practice sharing what you're actually thinking and feeling, not just surface stuff. I've been feeling scared about aging and mortality versus I'm fine. Vulnerability invites vulnerability. When you open up, they do too. Have the hard conversations. Honeymoon couples discuss everything because they want to know everything. Married couples avoid difficult topics to maintain peace. Address the things you've been avoiding: disappointments, unmet needs, fears about the relationship. Avoidance creates distance. Honest conversation, even difficult, creates closeness. Create regular state of us check-ins, monthly or quarterly deep conversations about the relationship. How are you feeling about us? What do you need from me? What's working or not working? This creates space for vulnerability and course correction. Relationships drift without intentional check-ins. Why do couples stop being vulnerable? Fear of judgment or rejection. Assumption that vulnerability will create conflict. Belief that you already know everything about each other. But emotional safety requires ongoing vulnerability, not just early relationship sharing.
Carlos and Maria had been married 20 years. They knew each other's routines, habits, preferences, but they'd stopped having real conversations. Everything was surface level. A marriage retreat introduced them to deep question exercises. They had to ask each other questions they'd never discussed. Biggest fears, secret dreams, disappointments, what they needed but hadn't asked for. The vulnerability was uncomfortable, but transformative. They started having weekly deep conversations. No logistics, just emotional truth. Carlos said, "I feel like I'm getting to know her again, but deeper because we have 20 years of history." So use question prompts. Find deep question lists to guide conversations. Create vulnerability time. Weekly dedicated time for emotional sharing, no distractions. Share first. Model vulnerability by going first with difficult truths. Receive vulnerability with care. When they share, respond with empathy, not judgment or defensiveness.
Strategy 5. Create anticipation and pursue each other again. The honeymoon phase involves constant anticipation, looking forward to seeing them, texting excitement about plans, pursuing each other actively. Long-term marriage loses anticipation when you're always together and stop pursuing. Time apart creates desire. Honeymoon couples miss each other when apart. Married couples are always together and take presence for granted. Create intentional time apart. Separate trips, individual activities, solo time with friends. Absence creates appreciation and longing that constant presence doesn't. Distance makes the heart grow fonder. Plan things to look forward to. Early dating involved anticipation of next date, next trip, next milestone. Marriage becomes routine with nothing to anticipate. Always have something planned in future. Weekend trip, concert, special date. Book a trip 3 months out. Anticipation builds excitement over the entire period. Anticipation of positive experience creates positive emotions before the event even happens. Pursue each other romantically. During dating, you actively pursued. Romantic gestures, thoughtful surprises, wooing. Marriage often involves no pursuit because we're already together. Intentionally woo your spouse. Flowers, love notes, romantic gestures. Being pursued feels exciting and special. Pursuit communicates, "I choose you actively." Send anticipation-building messages. "Can't wait to see you tonight. Counting down to our weekend away. Been thinking about you all day." Messages create anticipation and communicate desire. When you're excited to see your partner even though you see them daily, anticipation is alive. Why does anticipation disappear? Constant proximity eliminates longing. Routine makes everything predictable, eliminating excitement. You stop actively pursuing because you assume they're already yours. But taking each other's presence for granted kills desire. Natalie and Ben were together 24/7, worked from home together, did everything together, never apart. Initially, it seemed romantic, but the constant proximity killed desire. They took each other completely for granted. A therapist suggested, create space and anticipation. Natalie started going to weekly yoga class alone. Ben joined a men's group one night weekly. They started planning date nights days in advance and sending anticipatory texts. Can't wait for Friday. They booked a weekend trip 2 months out. Suddenly, they had things to look forward to. The time apart made them miss each other. Natalie would come home from yoga excited to see Ben. Ben looked forward to Natalie returning. Ben said, "I feel like I'm dating her again, like I want to win her over." So, schedule time apart.
individual activities, solo trips, time with friends separately. Always have future plans. Keep your calendar populated with things to anticipate together. Send anticipatory messages. Build excitement about seeing each other and upcoming plans. Pursue actively. Romantic gestures, thoughtful surprises. Acts that say, "I'm choosing you." If you're doing these 5 things and wondering whether your marriage is actually strong or if these strategies are just bandages, watch our video on 5 signs you're married to the right person. Understanding the difference between a marriage that needs rekindling and a fundamentally solid partnership will give you confidence. Links in the description. The honeymoon phase doesn't last forever. That's normal. The intensity of new love isn't sustainable long-term. But here's what most people don't realize. You don't have to choose between honeymoon excitement and long-term security. You can have both. By intentionally recreating the elements that made early love feel so alive, novelty, effort, physical intimacy, vulnerability, anticipation, you can bring back honeymoon feelings while keeping the depth and security of long-term partnership. Which of these 5 strategies has your marriage lost? If you're not doing new things together, you've chosen routine over excitement. If you've stopped courting each other, you've stopped making an effort. If physical intimacy is gone, connection is dying. If you're not being vulnerable, you don't really know each other anymore. If there's no anticipation, there's no desire. You don't have to implement all 5 at once. Start with 1. Pick the strategy that resonates most and commit to it for 30 days. Watch what happens when you intentionally recreate honeymoon elements. If this video gave you a roadmap to make your marriage exciting again, subscribe for more practical relationship strategies that actually work. Drop a comment telling me which of these 5 strategies you're going to try first, or share what you've done that brought back honeymoon feelings in your marriage. Your marriage doesn't have to be boring. It doesn't have to be predictable and flat. You can have comfort and excitement, security and passion, depth and romance, but it requires intentional effort from both of you. Do new things together, court each other again, prioritize intimacy, be vulnerable, create anticipation. These 5 strategies will make your marriage feel alive again, not by pretending you're newlyweds, but by bringing back the elements that made early love feel electric at any stage. Your best years together don't have to be behind you. They can be right now.